Howdy y'all, this is Stone Hook in Orange, Texas. I'm gonna show how I take a yucca leaf, just a long piece of grass blade looking thing. Make a little string, pretty simple string, just to make a loop on an arrowhead or something. Makes them handy, you can hang them around, or this one here big enough you can put your hand through it. And this string is really tough. I got a little point here, a little corner notch, kind of like that big one. I'll make a loop for. I cut this yucca about 3 weeks ago. When it's drying out, you can see this tip end of it is curling up and done turned yellow and dried out. I don't know what to do about that, because that makes it hard to separate the fibers. It's like when that stuff dries out and turns yellow like that, it's just glued all the fibers together, or glued them to this green right here is just like a surface over all the fibers. So what I like to do is just take a piece of wood, and got a little flake right here I use a lot. So it's just got kind of like a burn edge on one side and a different contours of edge on this side. It ain't real sharp, don't need to be real sharp. But I just start out by getting this green stuff off this dang yucca leaf. You can see how easy that's coming off right there. I like to work these leaves green just right off the bush, really. That's my favorite way I can strip them down to individual fibers like that. Once they dry, I have a hard time working them. See how that's just stuck right there now? I mean, that's hard scraping compared to where it's really green. That's all I'm trying to do right now, though, just scrape that surface off down to the fibers. Back here, this leaf starts getting contoured. It's got like a stem, a thick spot down the middle. That's why it hits down the middle good. Don't hit them edges. But this flake got just a little bit of contours enough to it there. I can only come here and scrape all the green off of it. Flake ain't contacting too good. I'm just gonna do this one half of the leaf a little bit, just to get enough fibers to make a loop out of it. Scrape that side pretty good though, then I'm gonna flip it over and just scrape this half of it on this side. I'm gonna grab about not quite half of this leaf and just strip it off of there now. Got to start in the middle though. If you start on one end, it'll tear out short every time. Then pull some of these loose pieces off the side. Now I got this good little strip. I'm gonna clean it up a little more. Put that burn edge flake down on it like that and just pull it through. Spin around and do the other half. I'm gonna flip it over and do the other side the same way. You can see it wanting to separate into fibers. When you scrape that green off of it, it'll just separate down into fibers. That's about all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab it, kind of split it almost in half. And I'm gonna do that again. Just this piece is still pretty thick down here on this. It's kind of brown. It's not that thick, it's more wide. So I'm gonna try to split this little stack in half. It ain't working too good. That'll work though. That's a nice little long fiber. If I could get 4 of them just like that, what I need. Put it on this leg. This one's still a little bit bigger than that, so I'm gonna just separate these fibers right there. This one's a little bit bigger, but I'm gonna call it, and I'm gonna pull one more off. Yeah, I've got 2 small. That'll be 2. Try to get 2 more about that size off of here. Peel it off short. Short. This one's still a little bit fat, but I think I'm gonna go with it because I didn't get very many off of there like I thought I would. That was long enough though. I'll go with that. I'll take where they got the thick end and thin end towards the tip. I'll swap it over and put a thin end up with a thick end. Just twist it a little bit, then tie a knot. That'll hold them together as a pair. Now I'll take these other 2 and do the same thing. This one don't really have a thick, it's got a thin end on both ends though, so let's do it right. It's too thin. Do it like this. So now I got two sets of two. You can refine them more. I'm just gonna, these are pretty rough strands actually, but they'll work fine. But now instead of, I'm just gonna put one overhand, or what do you call that knot, half hitch. Something just to get them together like that right there. Then we'll lay it on my leg over here on this piece of leather. I've tried it on my blue jeans, don't work. It just slides, seems like it don't twist the string. I'm gonna take each strand and just go down through it and pre-twist it so it'll have a twist kind of built into it. That's good enough. Just to kind of get a pre-twist going. I do the same thing on this one. When I roll it up and twist it, I come down here and catch it where it was at with my finger and kind of hold that twist. You don't want to twist it too much because they'll fall back up on itself and reverse twist itself. And then, I hadn't done this much in a while, but just lay them down on your leg like that. I'll use the palm, the side of my hand right there, lay it across them and push. You see it rolls, both of those. Then you gotta take a little effort to hold that down where you don't lose your tension to it, but then roll that one the same way, see? That made it just reverse twist string. Then I like to pinch it right there where I stopped. Them kind of got twisted up. Oops. Yeah, you want to keep these tails separate. I don't know how they got that daggone twisted. There. Anyway, you just kind of pull it tight where you get you good. It twisted down to right there, so I'll pinch it right there. Lay these back down there. Twist them good and tight. And then twist and roll that. And pinch it right there where they separate again. I gotta roll these up again. I normally don't do that. I'm getting them too close together there, I think. Maybe. Anyway, if it gets out of whack like that did a little bit, you can untwist it. And let it twist back down a little bit straighter. And roll. Oh, I didn't get a very good twist on them, didn't feel like. So. Here. I'm only twisting one. That one is rolling over there toward the other one. I need to pre-twist this one again. I'm not looking very smooth at this. This can be a smooth process once you get used to it, get it going right, and it goes. Pretty cool how fast you can make string. I'm just about out of pieces there, so. That's clean string though, heck, that's probably about 14 inches of good solid string. I got my scissors, let's see. Need a plate. We'll just cut this knot off. If you needed that extra length, you could take that, undo that, and reverse twist a little bit more string out of it. Now I just got a nice little piece of string. I got my heater right over there. I'm gonna run it right in front of that heater and burn all the little fuzz off of it. You can normally take a big lighter or something. Matter of fact, I got one. I'll grab it. Yeah, you can just take a lighter and go down that dude and burn off all the little fuzz. That's a good clean piece of string. Well, that way you can see that. It's strong too. I mean, it ain't gonna break it. I don't think. Right. Now what I do is just come around, depending on how big a loop you want. I'll take this, just go around it. Do a half hitch around it. And you could leave a little tail. You want some tail out here for a time finishing out. I don't pull that knot down tight yet. I'll come over here and do the same thing. I got 2 knots there. Spread that out just enough to get the fire head in there. is where it can get a little tricky trying to hold the darn thing, but you just got to run it down there close to where it's going to land, and then tighten the snot out of that knot right there. Then hold it right in the middle. Put your thumb on it or something. And get this side right over, pulled right over to the middle. Then tighten the snot out of that knot. So now, I mean, it's pretty snug on there. I just pull this thing straight up over the back end and both of these pieces too. I like to get on one side of the string and just do a half a square knot right there, or I don't know what you call that, just a regular old knot. And pull that down pretty nice and snug and even on both sides. Then come on the other side of the string and do the same thing. And pull that real good and snug too. And flip it around and tie it back on the opposite side of the string again. And I'm gonna go one more time, I think, this week. That's it. There ain't no way that's coming off of there. Then I like to take like here and cut these off real short. Well, that flake ain't very sharp right there. And then just kind of fuzz them out a little bit. And that's it. Iron head on the string. Oop. I'll be back.